up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Two Sisters, One Book. I'm Carla.
And I'm Amanda, and we are two sisters, two moms, tackling one book at a time.
It's been a while, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone knows from listening, but we both went on vacation. Yeah, Amanda went to Texas, and
And
I
Carla went to Indiana.
exactly because I was visiting my parents, and she was visiting her brother. Which, for people who don't know, we are sisters, but how it works is I am actually married to one of Amanda's brothers. So yeah, she lived with us for a while. So
She got the short end of the stick.
we are legit sisters by marriage, but we are sisters nonetheless. But I actually had a little surprise for you that I wanted.
Oh,
I wanted to show you, and I know you're going to be so mad at me when I show you.
What did you do?
Okay, so when I was on the flight going
Did you break your book?
So I was flying back, and it's stressful. Both of us are moms, we have kids, and so I'm trying to organize everything right in my bag and doing all this. Well, one of the books I'm reading currently, which I absolutely love, a little plug to this book, is The Spark of the Everflame books. And I had ordered the second book
My
when I was
eye
out
is
there.
twitching. I already know what's going to happen.
I ordered the second book when I was out there because I finished the first book and I was like, okay, we are reading the second book because it was so good and I couldn't wait. So I ordered it and had it shipped to me out there. So I didn't take into consideration that I have to transport the book back. Well, obviously you can only fly with so much. So I tried to fit all the books in my bag. And if you're watching on the video, please don't hate me, book lovers, because I am just as heartbroken and mad at myself as it is. My book ripped.
Oh my gosh.
And look at this. Look at this bend.
I don't want to look at it. I don't want to throw it away.
I was so sad. I was like, oh, when I took my book out, I'm like, what happened? And I saw the tear. I saw the little crumpling going on over here. And I'm like,
that poor book. All right. Well, at least it survived. At least it survived.
Yes. And then to that extent, one of the other books that I had purchased when I was out there, Shield of Sparrows, didn't quite have the same bad aesthetic look, but it did tear on the top here. So I guess the whole point of this story is maybe don't order books when you're out of town if you don't have enough room to take them back, because it is a lot. It is a lot. And yeah, I carried all my books with me, which these are not all of them, but these are some of them. Missing two of these. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I just had to get that out of the way before anything. And I knew Amanda was going to be real mad at me when I told her about that. So
I think the lesson we took from this is get yourself a Kindle.
That's a good lesson. That's a great lesson. I love the whole idea of a Kindle, but I also love the idea of having all my books to show off to people. So
I mean, you can, but who's going to travel with all those books, Carla?
I know. I'm sorry.
Anyway, well, we are in chapters 10, 11, and 12 for the fourth wing, which is, I find it a fun chapter. I feel like chapters 10, 11, and 12 could have all been put into one chapter, but we see Violet tries the gauntlet out. She gets a little discouraged, and then she gets a pep talk from Xaden. And then so what did you think of in chapter 10 of first getting that visual of the gauntlet?
I actually pictured, I don't know if you've seen that show Wipeout.
I love that show.
Why in my mind I'm picturing Wipeout, but times 10. I'm literally thinking we have the whole setup of Wipeout, probably bigger and a little bit more deathlier. And instead of water on the bottom, like in the show, there's nothing. It's like a cliff. That's what I pictured.
Yes. I thought it was kind of fun. I mean, when she first saw it, she already knew some of the parts she was too short for and all that stuff. So we see Sawyer, because he's a repeat, doing it perfectly, flawless and everything. And everybody's all like, he did it flawless and he still didn't get chosen by a dragon. So it's like, kind of crazy to think about. You're doing all this crazy stuff. You could be perfect and still not get chosen. So I was like,
Oh, and that's
crazy.
where that to me spoke to a lot of, it doesn't matter how, I guess, good you think you are, which I know as we get into in the next couple chapters, we see a lot of it comes down to like personality too of the people.
Yeah. Yeah, so we see Violet going, and we see remake it, and then we also see Violet doesn't make it, but she saved herself with the rope, which was cool. But she got devastated when her squad mate, I think Aurelie,
Oh yeah,
Aurelie, Aurelie,
Aurelie.
yeah, she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make it, and I think that took a big toll on Violet. One, probably because she knew she couldn't save her life. But you do see a growth jump from her too, because when they go back to the college, she's the one who personally takes all her stuff to get burned by Malik, and then she even says like, before I did, like a couple months ago, I couldn't even carry this rucksack. So it's kind of cool to see how she's progressed in a way. And Dane wants
Yeah,
her to leave. So, but then she gets a pep talk from Xaden, of course,
Xaden.
because she's like, I don't know if I'll make it and all this. And I don't think he really cares for people's pity parties, but he does give her a helpful hint. The right way isn't always, wait, the right way isn't the only way. Figure it out. Which then leads us to the next day, which is the real gauntlet.
I think when it comes down to the whole thing with Violet, because I did not realize that her height was really going to play a huge part in her having problems in the gauntlet. Like I didn't even think about that initially. And I think when Aurelie, or I think when she fell, it kind of signaled to Violet, like, wow, we have seen a lot of people go, but this was probably, I think, the first closest person that she's been with for multiple weeks that literally is gone in a second right in front of her, which is, and she watched it.
Crazy.
They like said they could like looked at each other's eyes. And
Yeah.
yeah, that made me really sad for her. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like heartbreaking for me as the reader.
Yeah. We're going to go to chapter 11 and 12 since it's basically all looks like it's in the same timeline for everything. So we see that um Violet practices going up the gauntlet a couple times and she fails to where she actually makes it up the gauntlet on um uh the presentation day. And what's her name? Amber something. I
Oh,
just see a
the
whiny
strawberry
little
blonde.
girl. Yeah, she's just like, she needs to be disqualified. But the one I first read it, I had like the whiniest voice because I was like, man, these stupid first years. But then she goes, this is Dane's friend. And I'm like, okay, so she's a second year
I
whining and
know. She's
complaining that this
she
girl,
sounds like a
like,
rule follower, like a big time follows the rules to a T, and
yeah.
that's it.
She's all like, don't quote the what's it called? The codex to
Codex.
me, but Violet's like, whatever you bring on you is yours. She took Xaden's advice into the right way isn't the only way to do it, and she got herself up there. And then we see a tantrum from Amber. But our girl made it, and of course, it sucks to go up in front of all these dragons now because didn't Xaden say, like, you're leaking everywhere? So isn't her hand
Yeah,
bleeding everywhere?
I read that, and when I read it, I kind of like I laughed out loud because I was like, he's like, you're leaking. I'm like,
Yeah, like he's like, good job, but I'm not gonna throw you a party for it. Like,
yeah.
get on out there.
So what I'm trying to figure out is like the part that she supposedly cheated on, according to Amber, is the part that she was already struggling with, right? Like that's where she had to actually take the rope to go down in the practice, right?
Yeah, so she used her dagger to be able to like pull herself up, and apparently that one girl just had a fit with it. But doesn't she have like a 30-second penalty for using the rope?
Yeah, I think
Like,
she gets a 30-second penalty. At least that's what they talk about. And she's the one who suggested, she's like, I'll take a 30-second penalty. And they're like, and what about the knife? And she's like,
well, it was on me, so it's my like, I don't know. These people are
yeah.
dramatic. Just freaking get up there. I mean,
But
especially if you're second year, you're already bonded to a dragon. So why does it matter to you? Like,
yeah, and I thought that the fact that Amber's like, oh well, it's she broke the rules. It's like, yeah, but she didn't really break the rules. She just found a loophole. Like that's
yeah,
and that's I think what Xaden was telling her is he's like, well, she's got you there, Amber, and she's like, what? That's crazy. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, technically, she didn't do anything wrong. She had on her what she brought, which is what they say you can do. I doesn't from what I know, it didn't necessarily say you cannot use your dagger to help pull yourself up. You can only use your height. So really, she was, I think, still following the rules. She just found a loophole to be able to kind of separate a new rule out of it, if that makes any sense.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
I
we have
think,
haters. Clearly, Amber
yeah.
is a hater. So whatever.
Well, and Violet already has a bunch of people who don't care for her and want to see her fail. So I mean, I don't know if Amber is one of those people, but I know Amber is friends with Dane, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, why is one of Dane's friends like trying to get Violet in trouble? And I'm like, well, I guess if she's a
She's
rule
his
follower.
secret lover. No, I think she's his lover. Now she's all jealous. I don't know.
Oh,
That's just like high school type thing. Like, what? Why are you hanging out with her now all the time? You're
that's a
supposed to
good
be
point.
mine.
That's a
She's a
good
mean
point.
girl.
We're gonna pin that one too because I kind of
Yes,
like
I
that
got a
character.
pin.
Yeah, and I do. I think that, and okay, I know I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. There is more to Xaden than what I think meets the eye. There's something about this man. I don't know. I haven't read the book. I do know some spoilers that just, social media, it just shows you things. But regardless of knowing spoilers, reading this book, I still have the same thought process as there's more to Xaden. There's something he is doing something to protect her. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I don't know if he just happened to be friends with Violet's brother and he has to put up this aura of no, I'm supposed to hate you because that's the way he protects her. But this man is helping her a lot more for somebody who does not like her, supposedly. I mean, to want
Hey,
to
you
kill
gotta
her,
keep your
he is
friends
clearly helping her
close.
more than that.
Keep your enemies closer.
I'm we're gonna find something out about Xaden. I have this feeling of we're gonna find out that Xaden was working to help her in some way. And I know the people who have already read the book are probably yelling at me right now, like this or that. But we can't spoil anything for the people who are listening who haven't read the book like me. But as a first time reader, I'm reading this going, there's something more to Xaden. There has to be. Like,
Oh, this is exciting stuff.
I know. Very interesting.
But um yeah, we see them walk through their dinosaurs, their dragons.
They kind of seem like dinosaurs, don't they?
Oh my
They
gosh.
walk through their dinosaurs and they look around.
Yes, no. So the dragons and everything, and I like, was it Xaden who said it, or somebody else said like keep at least like 7 to 12 feet apart or something, because if one person goes, they're probably
Garrett?
just gonna take you all out. Yeah, he is
I think it was Garrett. Yeah.
between Garrick and Riddick. They're just two different types of funnies that you just need both of those two dudes in your life just to, because
Yeah.
they both make me laugh.
Garrick seems like the type of guy that you would go and like chill with and just like mess around, but like flirtly mess around with them. I don't know. That's kind of what I see with Garrick. Like
Yeah, and
he just
Riddick
seems
is
like he has
just
that
like,
personality.
yeah, they're fun. They're fun.
Yeah.
So,
This part freaked me out because I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I think that we've seen them interact with the dragons. And I think if I was there, I'd be like, I can't be a writer. I can't do it. Like I'd be too
I'm
afraid to
over
walk
it.
through. I'd be like, nope. If I was Violet, I'd be like, I'm gonna go to the other quadrant and we'll just nope, not doing
No,
it.
it's too late. She's too late now. Um, but I like this one because they do. They were told to like have a conversation with the people you're standing next to, because it's not just about like strength or smarts. They want to see how you interact with people. I mean, you got to think about it. You're stuck with them for the human life of it all. But we see that I can't even remember his name, but he can't make a decision for life, and that poor little
Prior.
dude gets toasted. I
That
was
took
like,
me by
no,
surprise. Well, not so
that
much prior. Prior, I was like, I see, because he's so indecisive. He can't make up his mind. He's like, well, maybe we should go back. Unless you guys don't want to. I'm like, dude, come on.
I
If
know.
you're
And the
going to be a
dragon was like,
dragon
I'm not.
rider, you need to make these decisions. You need to do
It's
it. Like,
cutthroat.
choose it.
I
It
know.
was, uh,
It got intense. And then the two green dragons, they recognized. I feel like Mira's dragon has to be a sibling to one of these two green dragons because they were sniffing Violet like how Azula sniffs me when I'm around another dog. But
it's a great comparison.
it took her a while to figure
Is
out.
Mira's
It's like,
dragon
oh,
green? I can't remember.
yeah,
It is.
yeah,
So they smelled, yeah, because that was pretty cool, and that takes us back to the feathers, right, or the scales? No, it's the scales
the
that she
scales on
had
her.
sewn into her armor. I was like,
Yeah,
wow, these, yeah, they smell it, they know. But at first, I was like, oh, poor girl. I'm like, oh no. I mean, I had a feeling she was gonna be okay. I mean, we have a lot more of the book to get through, but
yeah,
I was like, I don't know, how is this going to turn out? Like, what are they doing? And then when they were just sniffing her, I was like, maybe
I
at
know.
first I thought maybe they smelled Mira, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, they don't smell Mira. They smell Mira's dragon.
Yeah, and they're probably like, oh, we know
Yeah, there was
you.
some form of like trust already with her, you know.
Yeah.
But we didn't
So
see
that,
any other dragons sniff anyone else, like, like you said,
no.
like a dog.
Oh,
Like, do I like you?
I know. What? You're cheating on me. Uh, um, a feather tail. They did see a feather tail
Oh,
there,
the
which
golden
everybody
one.
was, yeah, they were mocking that poor
Yeah, why were
golden
they
feather
hating on the
tail
golden? Like, that was
because
such a cute little dragon, I thought.
it was too little. They were like, how is she going to get up there? And they were making fun of Violet, saying that Violet could have it. But we
Well,
saw our
maybe that
first.
shows like a good bond between Violet and the gold dragon, because Violet was kind of, people were talking about her in that way, like, oh, she's too small, she's too weak, blah, 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 blah. And now they're saying the same thing about this dragon. That could be that could be a perfect match. That could be
I
a
know,
perfect.
like, it's exciting.
Is there no golden dragons? Is that like the first golden dragon that has been around, or we just haven't heard of another golden dragon?
As of right now, they're very rare to come by, but then you'll understand why later on in the book. So
Okay.
put your pin up.
Okay. Pin in that.
Don't
We have a
forget
lot
that
of
pin.
pins. We
No,
have a lot
you
of
have
pins.
a
We should
lot of
be
pins. I
we
just
should be
got my
writing
first
these
pin
down.
today. Okay. I got my first pin today. I'm super stoked about it.
Oh yes.
Uh, but yeah, that's basically it. They all made it up there. And I love the connection between Riddick, Ree, and Violet so far. I mean, those are two people that really, like, Riddick has had her back um, in chapter 10 and 11, and Ree has always had her back since the parapet. That's a
Yeah, and
fun.
a nice friendship form out of the three of them, which is kind
You
of
do
nice.
see Dane. Yeah, you do see Dane still pouting away because Violet's still up here.
You know
So I
what,
thought that
Dane?
was kind of fun.
Here's my thing to Dane. She is doing it regardless. Start helping the girl. Start giving her some type of help. She's clearly not leaving. And you just getting mad at
Yeah.
her is probably, if anything, pushing her away from you. What if something did happen to her? Would you regret the fact that you treated her that way because you wanted her to leave? I don't know. I have my
I
issues
don't.
with Dane, but that's for another day. That's another pin. I'm just
I
kidding.
as we end this session, I did like I think it was Luca who was being a little jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the dinosaur. Dang it! It's because I
The
watched Jurassic
dinosaurs.
Park. The dragon was like, I am so over this, and she poor thing got burned too. So now
Well, what
there's
was she?
only our squad is down to 6 first years. So now they started off, I think, with not losing anybody, and now they're only down to 6 of the first years, which I think that's still the most out of all the squads.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what was Luca complaining about right before, because that one I didn't see coming, even though I felt it. Like after it happened, I was like, yeah, I mean, you were kind of being a little bee, but what was she? Was she like criticizing Violet? I'm trying to remember what it was. Now I have to go back in my book. Well, let's see. Well, she was talking about, I think. Oh, they were talking about the dragons eating them. Oh, they were talking about prior.
Yeah, it's because Riddick. Hold on. It says, "Let's get out of here." She swallows her gaze, darting toward the line of dragons. When Violet was telling Rihanna why the dragons were sniffing her because of
Mm-hmm.
the scales, and she's like, "Don't tell anybody." So that's where we're at. And then she says, "Good idea." And it says she turns and walks back to her place. And once there's 15 feet between us, I follow. I think I just shat myself, Riddick says, and my laughter only pitches higher as we move through the field. Honestly, I thought they were going to eat you, Luca remarks. Me too, I admit. I wouldn't have blamed them, she continues. So she wanted her to get eaten.
Yeah.
And then Riddick calls her insufferable. And then 1 second, you know, she was talking about prior and then saying that he was a weakling, but she needs to go too. And then the dragon just blew hot smoke. It was like, you're
Dragon
annoying.
said, enough of you. We're done. You're done. Like,
Goes to show just because you're a crap talker. Clearly, I feel like people did not take this situation very seriously. Because if the
well,
person right before you go in there says, "Hey, make good communication with the people around you," and she's over here like just dissing, like it's a good thing she left too. Because I wouldn't want her
yeah.
on my, I wouldn't
Well,
want her on
because
my side.
you see, like the dragons are probably like, well, we don't want anyone weak, right? So that's probably why they took out Prior because they feel like he was just weak or couldn't make decisions, whatever the case might be. But then we see them take out Luca, who, in my opinion, I don't think she was necessarily weak, but I think that her heart wasn't going to align with any of them,
Or
you
maybe
know?
she was weak, and the only way to prove that she wasn't was just talking crap. Because one with prior, you
Sure.
don't want somebody who can't make a decision. Because if you're out in battle and you need to make like a fast decision, you got to commit to it and you have to just go. You can't second guess
Yeah.
yourself on anything. So that's how you get people killed. That's how you get your dragon killed. And then with the other one, I feel like she was just, that was her, she might have been so insecure that that was her way of making herself look good. And the dragon saw right through it and was like, I don't need anybody like you who you're just going to talk
Mhm.
shit just to make, like, you're going to talk bad about somebody else just to bring yourself up. That
Right.
makes
And I
sense.
think
It
the
makes
dragons
sense.
do. And that's why I think they tell them, like, just have conversation, do that, because the dragons are going to know either way. They're going to
Yeah.
know if you're a weakling. They're going to know if you're full of it. You know what I mean? Which I think you're right. I think Luca was more, she was just more full of it. She was more bite, or no, what is it? She was more bark than bite,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah. More
I
bite,
think that's,
more bark than
yeah.
bite. Yeah.
So now we see her squad is down to, what is it now? We have Sawyer. We have,
There's six. There's only
yeah,
six left in the first year.
yeah,
And there's
Sawyer,
like,
Riddick, Tynan, Violet, Rhiannon, and that's all I can remember. Is that five?
yeah,
Ooh,
but
are we
there's
down to
other
five?
people. No, we're down to
Yeah.
six. She even says at the end, we're down to six.
Oh,
Or
okay.
maybe they're not because she just got blown up. So who knows? Maybe Luca was the sixth.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, was Luca the sixth? Like, oh. But
But
yeah, that was actually a pretty good chapter. I did enjoy that one. I feel like we got a little bit more insight into the dragons, which we
we
haven't
know
really
she can make
seen.
it. So
Mhm.
we know she can make it. And then yeah. I think chapter 13, 14 would be a good 2 chapters to read for if you're following along.
Yeah. No, and I think that this whole, I guess, look of, in order to be a writer, you have to be strong, you have to be, this very, I guess, I don't know what the word is, but basically they want you to be strong. That's like, I feel like the perspective of what people think a writer is. But as we're seeing, that's not really Violet. She's not really strong, but she's smart and she's brave. And I think the dragons are going to see that, and they're going to want that.
Yeah. I'd rather have brains too. Like she figured out how to get up there. She's very smart and I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. I guess we're about to see what happens next.
I know. You've been dying. We took a whole week off and you're like, I need to read this book.
Well, Yeah, and that's the other thing is I read chapters 10 and 11 and then we went on vacation and I was like, Amanda, I got to reread. I got to reread them because I don't remember. And then we're like, let's do chapter 12 too because chapters I know 10 and 11 were very similar, talking mostly about the Gauntlet, so we threw in chapter 12. But I will say, because I'm always a reader, I like reading my books versus listening to the audio. That's just me. But I really enjoyed listening to the audio as I read the book. That was
Yeah, that's
like
my
a
favorite.
whole new level of imagination.
Yeah, that is my favorite. My husband always makes fun of me. He's like, "You have the book and you're listening to it." I'm like, "Yes, go away." Like,
Yeah, that might be my new way to read our Fourth Wing book series. So we'll see.
do
We'll see.
it. Yeah, it's a movie.
So I think
All
that
right.
wraps us up for this episode. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we go into the next chapter?
No, but I love every single one of you guys.
Yes, we love you guys. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, share, follow, all of those things. We are on social media. We're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. We're also on YouTube. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, just make sure to check us out because it really helps push this podcast out a little further for us.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we will see you guys on the next chapter and we will discuss the next, 2 to 3 chapters, I'd say. So, if you're reading along with us, just be sure to be prepared.
Whoop.
All right. I will talk with you later. Bye.
Bye.